What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin with Jake. We're just doing a little sports talk today. NBA Finals, Game 4 was last night. The Warriors defeat the Celtics 107-97. Stephen Curry with a huge game, 43 points and 10 rebounds. Big game for Steph Curry. Jason Tatum, 23 points and 11 rebounds. In the loss, what a performance by Steph Curry. If the Warriors win, he'll certainly be Finals MVP. What a game from him. Game 5 will be Monday night in Golden State. It'll go back to the Bay Area for Game 5. Draymond Green actually got pulled in this one. I was actually wondering if they were going to do that because the first 3 games, and they continued into Game 4, he has not played with Draymond Green. And they asked him about being pulled with about 7 minutes left in the game, in a close game. In Game 4 of the Finals, he said, he wasn't happy with it. He says, I'm a competitor. I was not thrilled with it, but, he just dealt with it. And we got, Pat Ruch is calling in, so we're gonna give Pat, we'll give him 10 minutes, and then we'll go from there. We're on Talkin Sports with Jake. We're talking about the NBA Finals right now. Steph Curry, big performance last night, 43 points in the win. Also added 10 rebounds. Time series up at 2 games apiece.
Hey, I just want to talk about something that's near and dear to both of our hearts, and that's the New York Rangers.
Yes, sir.
So, do you think we can eke out a win tonight against Tampa?
I think it'll be tough, but I think we can do it. The Rangers have come from behind all year. They played great in elimination games. They won 3 in a row after down 3 games to 1 against Pittsburgh. They were down 2-0 against Carolina. They came back to tie that series up. We went down 3-2, came back to win 2 in a row, including the Game 7 in Carolina, a building that the Carolina Hurricanes had not lost all postseason. And now we're down 3-2 with Tampa. I think we can get one in Tampa and then head back home and pick up a win and head to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah. I hope we can make it the Stanley Cup. I feel like the Avalanche, we have a puncher's chance against.
I think so too. The Avalanche are an extremely talented offensive team, but the Rangers the Rangers have the best goalie in the world. By the way, my dad's in here. Dad, what's up? We're actually talking about the Rangers with Pat right now. Yeah, they got the best goalie in the world, Igor Shesterkin. He's the best goalie in the league this year. So they have the goaltender to kind of slow down their talented offense, and they're not the greatest defensive team. Colorado, Darcy Kuemper is not a bad goalie by any means, but he's not gonna scare anybody. So we can score on them, and if Shesterkin can beat Shesterkin, I think we'll have a shot to win that series.
Yeah, Shesterkin is our dude.
Yes, he's a beast.
We need him to come through, which he probably will. Everyone, he's been coming through. It's just they're gonna get some goals. It's Tampa. You got to have your head on a swivel against that team, because if you don't have your head on a swivel against Tampa, you're fucked.
Oh my God, yeah, they are a very complete team. They got so many guys that can beat you: Kucherov, Stamkos, Palat, Killorn, Anthony Cirelli. On defense, they got Victor Hedman. They got so many guys, and they have a great goalie in Andre Vasilevsky as well.
Right. I'm going to be casting that game tonight at 8 p.m. with a guy from Australia that works for the Nashville Predators named Jake Scooty.
Oh yeah, I know Jake. He's the inferior Jake, but that's all right.
Yeah, he's Australian Jake, and he knows so much about NHL.
He does. Yeah, he's very knowledgeable, and he's been on. I've been on cast with him. He's been in the chat before. I like him.
Yeah, I like him too. I didn't want to I want to make sure that when I cast an NHL game, I do it with somebody who knows the game.
Right. Yeah.
And I know this guy knows the game 12 times more than I do.
Yes, he knows hockey for sure.
So, going to Golden State, what do you think about that bounce back win yesterday?
Big win for Golden State. Well, what a performance by Stephen Curry. Showed why he's one of the all-time greats. And that was a big win. And now they head back to Golden State for a chance to go up for Game 2 in a big game in Game 5.
Do you think they will actually? I think what's going to happen is they're going to split their next 2 games and it goes to 7.
I thought it would go seven at the beginning, and that's why it looks like it's going to happen. So I do think it will go 7 games. Yeah.
Who do you think prevails?
This is a very tightly contested series. I'm gonna say I picked Golden State in the at the beginning of the series. I honestly feel Boston has looked very good in the series. They've almost looked a little bit better at times overall, but I think Golden State gets it done, and I think they win in 7 still.
Yeah, I think so too. Where's Richie when you need him? He did a great cast yesterday. I didn't get a chance to sit down to the complete on because my phone died, and it's been dead since this morning.
Oh wow!
But I finally got it back going. I went to buy a new phone charger, so now it's working again.
Oh, you finally got a new charger?
Yeah. You know, I've had issues with my phone. Like, I got to charge
Yes.
my phone.
You're always like, oh, I got to charge my phone. My charger's not working.
Yeah. Now I joined the 21st century again, and my gosh, does it feel great. So who do you think, like, out of Colorado, their better goalie is? Because they're going in with two.
Yeah, they got Darcy Kemper and they got somebody else, right?
Right. And they play them both interchangeable, which is interesting to me. It's like reminds me of a college football coach playing two quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's very odd. I don't I don't know how you win a Stanley Cup like that. I've never seen that. Pretty much every team who wins a cup, they always have a really good goalie. That's why I think it's one of the reasons that the New York Islanders had trouble advancing past Tampa Bay Lightning because they would flip flop Simon Varlamov and Ilya Sorokin. They did it in the regular season the whole time, and they also did it in the postseason. So I think Darcy Kemper is the better goaltender. That's who I would go with. I think they could use an upgrade at that position overall. We'll see what they do in the offseason. And my dad just said that don't think anyone has won a cup doing that, and I agree. I've never seen anyone win a cup doing that either. That's very hard to
But I
do.
think this, like, Avalanche team, I don't know the sports books, but they got to be the favorite.
Yeah, Colorado will be favored. The Rangers people pick against the Rangers all year. They saw them, go down 3-1 against a team that they should have probably won in 6 in Pittsburgh. No one thought they would beat Carolina because everyone thought Carolina was a superstar team. No
Dude,
one's
I'm
picking
so
them to
glad
beat
to see them
Tampa.
beat Carolina. Everybody was
I
on
know.
Carolina's
Oh,
fucking
everyone's like, oh,
bandwagon.
they're going to win the cup. Like, they're a great defensive team. They don't have enough firepower. Everyone's picking Tampa to win because they got the 2-time defending champions. And I
Dude,
would
I
think
want to
they
see
would, they would
Tampa.
pick
I want to
Colorado
see
to win.
Tampa be silenced too by us.
I do too.
Except,
I was just down in Tampa for the first 2 games, and I'm at a restaurant watching the game. It's packed with Lightning fans. Every time the Rangers score, I'm going, yeah! People are looking over like, what the heck are you doing here?
because like Tampa Bay Lightning fans are just coming out of the woodwork. I'm like, where the fuck were you? And like, where were
Yeah.
you? Like maybe
Yeah.
like 4 years ago, just four. You
Yeah.
know,
Not even 10 years ago, just 4.
exactly. And it's just like, you know, there's some people who are like, no, I was a Tampa fan. I played NHL 2002, and I always picked them. I'm like, okay.
And my dad just said they won't be favored against Tampa, which is a good point. I think I can see the both Rangers and Tampa beating Colorado because they probably got the two best. They probably got the two best goalies in the world.
I'm the
In
complete opposite. I feel like I could see Avalanche beating Tampa Bay or New York,
I
and
think both
the
series are
Rangers
great.
are the team I'm pulling for.
My dad didn't really like your Tampa fans comment because he's a Ranger fan, but he lives in Tampa.
So he agrees or disagrees. I'm a Rangers fan,
uh,
but they got 3 cups in the time we got one. Like, yeah, they get 3 cup. They're gonna get like probably if they get like past the Rangers. I just feel like whoever wins the series is going into a buzzsaw against Colorado. And I hate it because my number one favorite team is the Detroit Red Wings of Hockeytown,
yes.
USA, Detroit, Michigan. But it's like if I was a Lakers fan seeing the Celtics right now, they're really fucking good. I'm not a Lakers fan, but you get the analogy. They're a rival, the
Yeah,
Avalanche.
exactly.
Yeah, so like I don't know, they seem like the team to beat, but I feel like the Rangers, they just need, this is a must win. What, we're down 3-1 or 3-2?
They're down 3 games to 2, so obviously they got to win. And back to your comment on Colorado, I definitely think they're gonna be favored, and I think there's a good chance they win. But I just think that both Rangers and Tampa have the goaltenders that can limit their offense, but both teams can score a good amount of goals. And Colorado's defensive goaltending isn't exactly Stanley Cup worthy.
All right, well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate this. I'm gonna go actually share my cast to RSVP for tonight, and then I'm gonna come back.
Sounds
Oh,
good, Patrick.
all right,
Thank
thank you.
you so much. Of course, thank you so much for hopping on. We're on Talking Sports with Jake. We're talking
Great
about
cast.
Thank you. We're talking about the NBA Finals, talking about the NHL. I'm a big Ranger fan. Pat's main team is the Red Wings, but he also likes the Rangers, so we were chatting about that. Big game tonight for the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 6 is on 8 p.m. on ESPN and ESPN Plus. The series shifts to Tampa. If Tampa wins, they advance to face the Colorado Avalanche in the Stanley Cup. If not, Game 7 will be Tuesday, and then winner of that will play the Avalanche in the Stanley Cup final. Colorado, quite a few days ago at this point, already wrapped up their series. They swept the Edmonton Oilers in 4 games and then the Western Conference Final to advance to the Stanley Cup final. As for MLB, we had our scores from last night. We had the Marlins over the Astros 7-4. We have the Nationals over the Brewers 11-5. Yankees over the Cubs 2-1. Phillies over the Diamondbacks 7-5. Blue Jays over the Tigers 10-1. Guardians over the Athletics 3-2. Braves over the Pirates 4-2. Twins over the Rays 9-4. Royals over the Orioles 8-1. White Sox over the Rangers 8-3. Cardinals over the Reds 2-0. Mets over the Angels 7-3. Padres over the Rockies 9-0. Red Sox over the Mariners 4-3. And the Giants over the Dodgers 7-2. The Phillies have turned it around a little bit. Phillies have won 8 in a row. They're 7-0. 7 of those 8 wins have been with Rob Thompson, their interim manager. They're back to 500, so they've found something. The Mets continue to win. Now 39-21. 6.5 game lead over Atlanta for first place in the National League East. Capitals Red Sox best in baseball. LOL. They've played a little better. Boston still not where they want to be, obviously. Kind of a little bit kind of buried in that really tough American League East. Right now, they are 31-28, so they're actually playing well right now. They're getting better. By the way, Dad, Syndergaard was supposed to pitch in this series, but his start actually got moved back, so he will not pitch against the Mets. If you ask me, it sounds like a bit of a coward, but people can interpret that the way that they want. As for the MLB standings in the American League, Twins continue to lead the Central at 34-26, but their lead in the division is getting a little more slim. Cleveland's playing well right now. They're only 3 games back, and the White Sox are 5 games out. That division is really bad. Twins are only 8 games over 500, and they're in first place. Cleveland is 2 games over 500, only 3 games out. White Sox are 2 games below 500. They're only 5 games out. They got Detroit and Kansas City. You both suck. I don't know what happened to Detroit this year. They're so bad offensively, and they got a bunch of starting pitchers out. That's some injury news. Tigers ace Casey Mize will have Tommy John surgery. That's a tough loss for him. Possibly we may not see him until 2024 because Tommy John surgeries are really, really tough. I can't say they are god awful. Yankees 42-16, best record in the baseball. They continue to win. Got Toronto and the Rays both playing very well, but of course they're kind of buried behind the Yankees. Then you got Boston, who's hanging in, and the Orioles in last place. American League West, Astros continue to dominate that division. On the what's going on, the Angels 28-32. They have lost 15 of their last 16 games. Their starter went an inning and 2/3 against the Mets last night. He got 5 outs, and that's it. And you got Texas, Seattle, who's struggling this year, 26-32. Disappointing year for them. And the Oakland A's have now lost 10 games in a row. 10-game losing streak. What's with these long losing streaks this year? If the Angels lose 14 in a row, now the A's losing 10 in a row. And they're 20-40. They are the worst team in the major leagues. Lost 10 straight games. In the National League, we'll start with the Central. St. Louis Cardinals have actually overtaken the Brewers for first place. Brewers are falling apart. The Brewers have lost 7 in a row, and 9 of their last 10, falling to just 33-27. And St. Louis right now is a half game ahead of them in the National League Central. By the way, kudos to the Pittsburgh Pirates, 24-32, a lot better than I expected. In third place in the Central, then the Cubs, and then the Reds. Reds 20-38, worst team in the National League, third worst in the majors besides Oakland and Kansas City. Mets continuing to win, 39-21. Atlanta Braves are hot. Atlanta has won 9 in a row. And the Phillies have won 8 in a row. The Phillies dug themselves such a big hole, so they're still 9 games out of first. But now only 2.5 games out of the wild card. Phillies won 8 in a row. And of course, Atlanta, like I said, has won 9 in a row. Then you got Miami, and then Washington is in dead last. National League West, Dodgers, 37-21, second best record in the National League. Padres, though, are only a game back of them in the West, and then you have the Giants in third, and then Arizona and Colorado rounding out that division. This should be a very exciting pennant race this year in the National League. Mets right now control the East. It looks like St. Louis and Milwaukee are going to be neck and neck for now, at least in the Central and the West. Padres are right in the Dodgers' tail. As for the wild cards, San Diego looks like a safe bet to get in right now. Of course, it's still very early. Loser of the Central, Milwaukee and St. Louis will have a shot to get in. And then after that, it's pretty much wide open. You know, Atlanta will be there. San Francisco will be there. Even the Phillies are not too far out. In the American League, you got the Yankees obviously controlling the East. Astros fully controlling the West. AL Central is going to be interesting because you got the Twins, who were obviously not expected to win that division. Or a lot of people didn't think they made make the playoffs. I didn't think they'd be in the playoffs this year. They're in first. But Cleveland, who is a very mediocre team because of how bad that division is, they're right there in that division race. The White Sox, who pretty much everyone thought was going to take that division, they're slumping a bit, getting a little better. They've had a lot of injuries. They are 5 games out, and Sean Jarrett's going to call in now. So we'll give him 10 minutes, and then we'll go from there. We're talking sports with Jake. We're talking some MLB right now, talking about the standings, and doing a little look into the playoff picture. What's up, Sean?
Man, what's going on?
What's going on, Sean?
Not much. I definitely want. I kind of was busy, but I wanted to get back into last night's NBA matchup.
Yeah.
It was. I believe it or not, I kind of called that the Warriors going to win that game,
Mm-hmm.
but the way they played last night was totally different. What happened in Game 3, as we seen the Celtics just mothered them on the offensive end, and it was totally different. We've seen the Warriors get open for nice looking threes, and it seemed like the Celtics had nothing to counteract that. But I suspect in game 5 that it would be totally different. Going back to the Bay Area, I suspect the series at least go 7. Yeah, I feel that this series is going to be back and forth. We've seen it last year, how the series, once both teams lost at home, how that series switched back and forth. So I expect it to be a good inning series with the Warriors coming out winning it.
Yeah, I think that'll happen as well. I picked Golden State at 7 at the beginning, and that's the way it's looking. Both teams are going back and forth right now. No one seems to get the upper hand. As soon as, looks like, maybe the Celtics might be the better team in the series, all of a sudden, Golden State comes back and looks like the better team. So I think it'll go 7. It's going back and forth for now, but only time will tell.
Yeah, and I suspect the Boston to go back to that smothering defense with them having Draymond Green playing center versus Williams. I suspect them to go inside and try to dominate the paint like they did in Game 3,
Hmm.
um, and force them to have to rebound the ball. Draymond Green, Williams has a size advantage, so I will be looking for them to try to use that advantage to their abilities.
Yeah, to beat Golden State, you gotta be able to score in the paint. That's for sure.
And then I also see them trying to really. We seen Curry get good looks, but we didn't see Thompson. So I suspect them to bring out more of a double team on Curry to force him to pass the ball, get everybody else involved. Because when Curry went to the bench, the scoring went down a little bit, but it didn't go down a lot. So Boston's gonna have to make that second team, beat them.
Yes, definitely. If Steph beats you, that's gonna be a tough pill to swallow. Obviously, he's great. We know he obviously can shoot, but I would. If I'm Boston, I would much rather see Klay Thompson or Jordan Poole beat me. I would live with that more than Steph.
Yeah, I will force Klay Thompson to really become the lead scorer.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And Klay, obviously, he's a great player. We know what he's done in the NBA. He's obviously a huge piece of the Golden State run that they've had the last bunch of years. But he's not 100%. He's coming up with 20 on a torn Achilles. He's been back for a bit, but I can't imagine he's 100%.
Yeah, and he struggled a little bit in the series.
He did, yeah.
So
He has rather,
if
yeah.
I'm Boston, I'm going to have to make him step up.
Yeah, and he played well in the regular season. I think he averaged like 19 or 20 a game. But yeah, this series he's looked a little bit off. He played well in game 3, but the first two I thought he didn't look good, and he didn't really do anything over the top last night either.
But and then for Boston, you got to look at Derek White.
Hmm.
He played great in Game 3. He was not so efficient in Game 4. I
Hmm.
expect him to
Definitely
step
not.
back up in Game 5.
Yeah, that's the guy that got traded on. He's been a big piece for them. He's a guy who could shoot, a guy who plays really good D. And Boston needs their role players. He can't just be Jason Tatum and just be Jaylen Brown. They need Marcus Smart and Rob Williams and Grant Williams and Derek White to step up in the series.
Definitely. And then, like I said, going back to Robert Williams, he has to control the paint.
Yes, for sure.
He definitely has to control the paint, and he has to play a a defensive anchor for them.
Yes, that's what Rob Williams is there for. He's had a lot of injuries down the stretch here. He was out, down the stretch in the regular season. They eventually get him back in the playoffs. He's kind of in that lineup since then. Obviously not 100%, but when he's healthy, he's gotta go out there and just and give it his all. And he definitely has got to do some work in the paint because that's how Boston's going to win this series. They got to score in the paint.
Yeah, and I really see Boston making this serious. I really don't see them running away with it, but I do see them scoring like 60 points in the first half of this Game 5. Um, and win by a nice little lead. Um, in the second. And I mean, in the final quarter, I see need them putting up 100 points. So
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, I'm sure Boston will play a little better defensively in Game 5. I mean, 107 isn't that's not awful to give up, but the Celtics got probably the best defense in the NBA. At least since January 1st, they've had the best defense in the NBA. So, and they've given up a lot less than that in a lot of games down the stretch in this postseason. So I agree with you. I think they'll come out with a little more defensive intensity at home like they did in Game 4.
yeah, I definitely see them. But on the flip side, let's not put they getting. We're talking about the Golden State Warriors, And let's not put nothing back past them. They can win at home. They had a really pretty decent record at home during the regular season, so let's not put nothing past them. And
Mm.
if they really wanted to win this game, they could. But it's going to take more than Curry. We see Curry get in foul trouble in Game 3, and Boston missed the opportunity to get him out the game in Game 3. He dropped 31 points in Game 3. So if Boston get that chance again, I don't think they're gonna miss that opportunity to get if they get Curry in foul trouble or any of the big three in foul trouble. I don't think they're gonna miss that opportunity to get them out the game.
Yeah, I agree. Boston's definitely got to drive to the hoop. They got to be able to score in the paint, and obviously, if you can get guys in foul trouble with whoever it is, whether it's Steph, whether it's Clay, whether it's Wiggins, whether it's Poole, if that's one less guy you have to worry about. The Warriors got a good supporting cast, so if a guy like Poole or Wiggins has to play limited minutes because they're in foul trouble, now you're making Golden State play a guy like Gary Payton, who hasn't played a lot in the postseason, or Andre Iguodala, who hasn't really played too much this year. Being a guy who's only about a 15 minute a game guy now, he's not getting a lot of time in the postseason, and that will definitely help Boston win the series.
Definitely, and also, uh, we Peyton has to step up as a defensive anchor for Golden State. We've seen Jalen um Brown get wide open threes when he's on the court. So we have to they have to switch or switch a big man onto him to just contest the shot at least, not let him get a good clean look.
Yeah, they can't be giving open looks. It's one thing to give Marcus Smart an open looks. Smart's not going to hit everyone. He's not a great shooter, but Tatum Brown or even Grant Williams, who shot 41%, from three in the regular season, you can't be giving those guys open looks all the time.
No, you cannot. And I just think it's going to be very interesting to watch the end of this series to see how it's going to turn out. But like I said, I believe the Warriors are going to win this. Um, and it's going to be back at home in San Francisco when they win it. Boston not going to let them win it on their home court.
Definitely. And Sean, thank you, thank you for hopping on. That was a nice conversation we had. Thank you for hopping on.
Thanks.
Thank you, Sean. Sean and I were just talking about the NBA Finals here on Talkin' Sports with Jake. Big game Monday night, Game 5. Series shifts back to the Bay Area. Back to some baseball. Remember, like Central's very, very weak. We got the Twins at 34 and 26 in first in that division. Like I said, it should be an exciting pennant race in the American League. Looks like Toronto and Tampa will have the first two spots. That's what it looks like right now. We got so much time left. It's only June 11th, but that's what it looks like right now. And then that last spot is anyone's guess. Cleveland's right there. Even Boston is right there. The Angels are still hanging around. Texas is hanging around. It's the White Sox and Seattle are kind of hanging on there. It's interesting because you look at a team like Seattle is 4.5 games out. That's a team that could easily be right in the thick of the conversation. That's a good baseball team that a lot of people thought would finally get to the playoffs this year. They haven't made the playoffs, of course, since 2001. But they've come out and have not played well. They've had some injuries. With Mitch Haniger and Kyle Lewis out, so their lineup has struggled a bit. Jesse Winker's been hurt. He has been hurt, rather. Jesse Winker has struggled this year. Their starting pitching hasn't been as good as they thought it was going to be, nor has their bullpen, so they haven't come out and played their best. The Angels are a team, if they can ever get back on track, they could get into the playoffs. So it'll be very interesting. The White Sox are a team that, on paper, they're like a 90-win team and should probably win that division, but they've had so many injuries. With Eloy Jimenez missing a lot of time, their ace Lance Lynn we haven't even seen yet. Lucas Giolito was hurt at one point. Tim Anderson's out right now, so they've had so many injuries to a lot of key guys. so they really haven't been able to get going. They have not been at full strength really at all this year. And it's weird. You got a team like Cleveland's only a half game out. Cleveland's a team going into the year. You thought, all right, they'll hang around, but probably isn't going to get in. And they're probably have a good shot of possibly getting in. They're only a half game out. Also the Twins we didn't think would make the playoffs. They're in first place right now, so should be a very exciting pennant race in the MLB this year. And only other thing I got is the RBC Canadian Open continues. It is moving day. It is Saturday. Tony Finau has had a big day today. He is 6 under par right now for the day through 10 holes. He is at 9 under. He has jumped ahead into first place at the RBC Canadian Open. You got Rory McIlroy is at 7 under. You got JT's having a nice day. He's at 6 under. Sam Burns also at 6. That is Austin Cook, Jim Niles, Matt Fitzpatrick, Wyndham Clark, Keith Mitchell, and Adam Long. Wyndham Clark is 1 over through 3. He's been the leader for the majority of the tournament, but right now Tony Finau, who was 6 under through 10 holes today, has a 2-shot lead at the RBC Canadian Open. U.S. Open will be next week. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time, so long, and have a great day.